و با عرض تسلیت به مناسبت ایام محرم و مخصوصا شهادت امام سجاد علیه السلام خدمت شما و خدمت صاحب عزای مجلس حضرت بقیت الله روحی و ارواح له الفدا، انشاءالله خداوند به آبروی این شب‌های بزرگ طاعات توسلات ما را مورد قبول درگاه خویش قرار دهد. دومین شب از شام غریبان آقا ابا عبدالحسین قرار دارید. قطعه شعری خدمتتون تقدیم می‌کنم. امیدواریم که مورد قبول درگاه الهی از تمام ما و شما قرار بگیرد. عزایت ماتم هفت آسمان است، زمین غرق عذاب این زمان است. فضای خسته کرب و بلایت پر از گریه، پر از آه و فغان است. ز ظلم جور فرزندان بابی همه انگشت آژم بر دهان است. به جای بوسه و دست نوازش به سوی کودکان آتش دارد است. تمام پیکر پاک شهیدان ز صبح اسب نامردی نشان است. شب ماتم شب شام غریب است. دعوت میکنم از قاری محترم سید قاسم موسوی تا با تلاوت چند از آیات کلام الله مجید مجلس دعا را با انوار الهی روشن تا تشریف آوری ایشان بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والشمس وضحاها والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها. قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها. كذبت ثمود بطغواها إذ انبعث أشقاها فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله. فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة وآل محمد اللهم
برای سلامتی برادر قاری محترم سید قاسم موسوی صلواتی بلندتر ارائه بفرمایید. جا داره که پوزش می‌کنم مستمومی دوستان و برادران که ساعت سمی خوردگی دارم قرار بود که غیر از علی تشریف بیارن و مشکل باشن. ولی خب میتونه رضا بودن. در این شب‌های گذشته هر شب در بین برنامه‌ها به این موضوعی راجع به اهداف عاشورا و موضوعات عاشورا اشاره کردم و موضوع آخر بدعت ستیزی در نهضت عاشوراست. بدعت موضوع خیلی مهمی دوستان که همیشه متاسفانه از جناح‌های مختلف مخصوصا به ما شیعیان اثناعشری بسیار رفت ممنون شما که هم دقت کنید. دین پیوسته از سوی دشمنان و مخالفان سودجو در معرض تحریف، سوء استفاده، تفسیر نادرست و بدعت آفرینی است. بدعت‌هایی که گاهی در قالب نوآوری‌ها و نگرش‌های نوین و مانند آن در دین ایجاد می‌شود که عموم مردم و ناآگاهان به مفاهیم عمیق دینی فریب آن را می‌خورند و تحت تأثیر آن قرار می‌گیرند. در چنین شرایطی رسالت خاص یعنی عالمان و اندیشمندان دینی بسیار سنگین است و آنها باید روشنگری بکنند و بدعت‌ها را آشکار کرده و مردم را از ناآگاهی نسبت به آن برهانند. چنانکه رسول خدا صلی الله علیه و آله و سلم می‌فرمایند هرگاه بدعت‌ها ظاهر شود اندیشمند آگاه باید علم و دانش خویش را آشکار کند. امام حسین علیه السلام نیز به عنوان برترین و جامع‌ترین عالم دین زمان خویش که در اوج حاکمیت سیاه به خسارتبار بنی امیه وارث سریر امامت شد، بدعت‌های فراوانی را شاهد بود. چون بنی امیه از جهل و نادانی و ساده‌لوحی مردم زمان خویش کمال سوء استفاده را کردند و پیرایه‌های فراوانی بر پیکر مجروح دین وارد ساختند و به این جهت سهم بسزایی در انحراف اسلام و دور ساختن مردم از اسلام ناب را به خود اختصاص دادند. از این رو آن حضرت از اهداف عالی قیام خویش را از یک سو آگاهی دادن به مردم نسبت به وجود بدعت‌ها و سنت‌های خرافی و باطل در دین و از سوی دیگر تلاش و مبارزه برای زدودن این بدعت‌ها و خرافات ایجاد شده توسط بنی امیه اعلام داشته است. هرچند این تلاش‌ها و جهاد به قیمت نثار جانش و نثار جان یاران و فرزندانش و نیز اسارت اهل و عیال او تمام شده است. با تشکر فراوان از انشاءالله که گوش داده باشید و انشاءالله از جمله کسایی باشید که همیشه بدعت ستیز باشید و اسلام ناب محمدی را سعی کنید از عالمان دین، از کسایی که سالهای سال درس خواندند، تحقیق کردند، از آنها یاد بگیرید و مطیع مراجع تقلید نسبت به دین باشید. دوستان مسئله دینی مسئله نیست که ما شما بخوایم راجبش شخصا نظر بدیم. که از دوستان گفت که من خیلی مسائل خودم فکر میکنم و گوش داد که این صحبت انجام بدم ببخشید، ولی هر کار تخصص خودش داره. هیچ وقت کسی که در یک زمینه تخصص داره کسای دیگه اونایی که دنبال این مسئله نبودن اگر بیان راجع به اون موضوع حرف بزنن مسلماً اون آدمی که در موردش نظر داده شده مخالفت میکنه و کسای دیگه اون رو نکوهش میکنه. اگه سوالی بود ما همیشه بتونیم به مرجع، به کتب معتبر، به احادیث معتبر مراجعه کنیم نه اینکه خود ما از خود صاحب نظر باشیم. انشاءالله به همون آیه معروف اطیعوا الله و اطیعوا الرسول و اولی الامر منکم باشیم. روز عاشورا امسال دو شب‌های مختلف برگزار شد. ماها موظفیم که به حرف مرجع خودمون و نماینده مرجع خودمون گوش بدیم تا انشاءالله از بدعت، از نفاق و تفرقه دوری کنیم. خب خداوند انشاءالله توفیق بده که همه ما به اسمان الهی چنگ بزنیم و در کنار همدیگر در اینجا مراسم مذهبی و آداب و سنن خودمان رو شما برگزار کنیم. وقت شما رو نمی‌گذارم، دعوت می‌کنم از برادر محترم آقای سلطانی تا انشاءالله برنامه کودکان رو انشاءالله اجرا کنند برای سلامتی ایشان و برای اینکه انشاءالله همه بچه‌ها از اصلاح کودکان تشکر برده باشند. صلوات محمدی را بفرمایید.
اللهم صل علی محمد و آل محمد.
صلوات بر محمد و آل محمد.
اللهم صل علی محمد.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. So, during these sessions that we have, we learned about our imams. Who knows which imam are we learning about tonight? Except for you, Mohsen, because we have the book. Bahram, you know? Very good. You're reading right next to him, and still good. So we're going to learn about Imam Hadi, alayhi salam, our 10th Imam. And then I'll give you a little bit of a brief about our 11th Imam. Who knows the name of our 11th Imam? Does anyone? Imam Hassan Askari. And then we'll learn about our last Imam, Imam Mahdi. Can I please call Mohsen to read the book for us so we learn about Imam al-Hadi? Please recite Salawat wa Muhammad wa Ala Muhammad.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The large caliph sat on his grand throne drinking from a goblet of wine. Soldiers in matching uniforms surrounded him, guarding his palace. The caliph's trusted vizier, a corrupt man, leaned in and whispered into his ear, "Mutawakkil, my master, I have heard that there are weapons and money, lots of money in Imam al-Hadi's house. He is definitely planning something against you." Mutawakkil, the evil caliph of Samara, became very upset. He pounded his fist against the throne and shouted to the commander of his army, "Go to the home of Imam al-Hadi right this instant. Search his home and bring me back all of his coins and weapons. Leave nothing untouched or unturned. I want everything he has. Bring it all back." The vizier laughed under his breath, happy to see the mischief he had caused. The commander, however, was worried. But my master, it's the middle of the night." Mutawakkil replied, "Don't you dare question me. Do as I say. Go now." The commander and his soldiers bowed and left to search the Imam's house and capture him. Mutawakkil returned to his throne and murmured, "He is trying to keep that money from me. We'll see about that." Then he tipped back his goblet and took a big gulp. The caliph's soldiers rushed to invade the house of Imam al-Hadi. One of the soldiers even climbed on the top of the Imam's house, but because it was very dark, he could not see anything below him. When he tried to come down, he realized it was too dark and was afraid he would fall. Suddenly, he heard a kind voice coming from inside the house. "Wait, young man, wait. Let me bring you a lantern." The voice belonged to Imam al-Hadi. He had heard stomping and voices outside his home while he was offering his night prayers and du'as. With the light from the lantern, the soldier was able to jump down safely and march into the Imam's home with the rest of the army. The soldiers searched the entire house but only found a small bag of coins and the entire house but only found a small bag of coins and an old sword. However, the soldiers still arrested the Imam and took him to the palace. Back in the palace, the vizier was laughing, happy to see Imam al-Hadi arrested. The commander came forward and handed Mutawakkil the old sword and bag of coins. "My master, this is all we found," he said. When his eyes fell on the bag of coins, the Caliph noticed a familiar stamp on it. It was a special stamp that belonged to his mother. He turned towards the Imam and demanded, "Where did you get these coins from?" "This bag belongs to my mother." "Did you steal this from her?" Mutawakkil ordered that his mother be brought to the court immediately, even though it was the middle of the night. When Mutawakkil's mother entered the court, he immediately asked why Imam al-Hadi had her coins. She softly replied, "Remember that time when you were very sick? I made a promise to Allah that if you got better, I would give 10,000 gold coins to the Imam. Alhamdulillah, you got better and I gave Imam al-Hadi the coins as promised." By now, Mutawakkil had become very angry. He turned to his vizier and whispered, "You told me he had gathered lots of money and weapons to use against me. What happened? Where are they?" The vizier hung his head in shame and embarrassment. The Caliph didn't want to show that he was defeated. He quickly drank the rest of his wine and filled up his cup again. He rose from his throne and stumbled towards the Imam. He chuckled and handed him his wine glass. "Here, drink this. I invite you to stay and enjoy the party. Have fun and be happy just like the rest of us." The Imam was very upset by the Caliph's action. He firmly replied, "Never. I swear by Allah that my entire body, even my flesh and blood, find alcohol disgusting." Upon hearing these words, Mutawakkil's face turned red. He tried embarrassing the Imam again by teasing him in a mocking voice. He said, "Okay, if you do not want to drink, then why don't you sing for us instead?" When the Imam did not respond, Mutawakkil continued taunting him. "Come on, what's the problem? Let's hear it now." The Imam looked around and noticed that everyone around him was drinking wine and laughing. He felt sad seeing this kind of behavior from people who called themselves Muslims. Finally, he said, "From believers, do not sing the type of songs that you like to hear, but I will recite a poem instead to remind you of Allah, your Creator." The Imam began reciting. "They build forts on top of mountains. Strong men guard these forts. But there is no point. The power and greatness will soon disappear. In the end, they will all die out and fall into their graves. When they are buried, voices will call out, 'Now where are your palaces and crowns? Where are the castles and forts to protect you now?' How long they ate and drank but after eating for so long, they themselves were eaten. Everyone suddenly fell silent. Mutawakil dropped his goblet, spilling his drink all over the carpet. His face turned pale and he was speechless, moved by Imam al-Hadi's words. Everybody around him began sobbing. They felt very sorry for their actions. You see, the Imam guided them by showing them what they were doing was wrong. Mutawakkil returned the items to the Imam and allowed him to return home. Everyone now understood why the Imam was given the title Al-Hadi, which means the one who guides. As the Imam moved on, the sun slowly began to peek out from the horizon, indicating that morning was soon approaching in the distance. The palm trees seemed to bow out of respect for the Imam as he passed by. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon Imam Ali al-Hadi, the one who guides us all to the right path. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Ahsant.
Very well done. Please, for Muhsin's health and well-being, recite another salawat by Muhammad Ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
All of you did an amazing job during all the sessions that we had. All of you read really well, and I'm aware you've been asking questions from your parents at home. You've been learning even further, Mohsen. Mohsen was asking me why we cancelled our English session on the day of Ashura, which tells me how interested he was in the session, and also I've had other feedbacks, which I thank you all for them. So we said the 12 Imams and the Prophets are our leaders. We're following their path, and we wanted to know what kind of person they are, who are we following, and also in between we wanted to learn what is the reason behind some of the things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done and tell us to do, and wanted to know why has the event of Ashura happened at all, why Imam Hussein was martyred, and we said there was a message to it. We learned a little bit about the message last night, because everything God does, there's a reason behind it. Imam Hassan al-Askari is our 11th Imam. We probably don't have enough time to go into that, but our last Imam, which I would like to discuss a little bit about, is Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam. So you might have realized the trend. While we had our Imams who were all sinless, truthful people, kind, people who did not lie, people who, when people talked bad about them, they still talked nice and prayed for them. So we learned stories of different Imams, how they interacted with people and how they replied and responded to bad behaviors of other people. While we had such good people in our society, or in the society back then, they all got martyred at the end. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to give us a message through the history of our Imam and how they lived in the stories that happened. So we've got one very important piece of information that guides us what to do, that is unchanged and is not going to change. That is the Qur'an. So we have the Qur'an that has not changed, and it's not going to change. And it has a lot into it. It's very hard to interpret because there are a lot of scholars who are behind it. They're learning about every single ayah and they want to know what a particular ayah refers to, and then they give a tafsir or interpretation. That's one case. Then we've had a live example. That was our Imam who we would want to follow them, but they've been getting killed. Every one of them. You heard from the last story that Mohsin was reading. The Caliph refers to Khalifa, which is the governor of the time, or a person who calls themselves a leader of Islam, basically. While our Imam was there, another person called themselves a leader of Islam. We can tell from the stories, as soon as one Imam was getting born, the governor or the person who called themselves Caliph was getting worried, because they knew that this person should be the real Caliph, the real governor, because they knew about their knowledge, they knew about who they are, how they relate to our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they knew all of this. They were getting worried. When it came to our last Imam, it was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's decisions to let us to test. So our last Imam is alive amongst us, but we cannot identify him. He's disappeared. So we might see him at a place, but we can't tell. And it's been so many years. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put us all to test. So He didn't want to have just giving out imams and then all the human beings keep making mistakes and then at the end they get killed. That's not the intention of this world at all. We had our Imam Hussein alayhi salam, who were called by people who called themselves Muslims. There were so many letters sent to him and said, we need you, come and govern for us, you are our Imam. And the very same people stood against them. They fought him and they martyred him. We are pretty much in a similar situation now. We are coming in the events of Ashura and Muharram, sitting in this majalis and calling our Imam, reading the Dua Faraj. But are we really meaning that? There must be something wrong. That Allah, because Allah knows best about us and what we want, there must be something that we're not doing right. And I want you boys and girls, sisters and brothers, ladies and gentlemen, to put this into your mind. Are we really wanting our Imam to come? If we do, what are we doing wrong? If he's a person of truth, if he's a person of God, he's a person who we want to follow. We're sitting in his grandfather's majalis and we cry for him. Why do we still have our last Imam missing? All of you beautiful children will have learned a lot more in a few years, and I know you will all be the followers of our Imams. I was just giving a brief of our Imam, and I hope we've learned. Excuse me, Yusuf. I don't have too much more to say because we don't have too much more time. But at this time, what I really wanted to say is Mr. Dr. Razawi has greeted me in his kind words. But what I want to say is every person would like to compete in life and be in higher roles. And that's what I want for you guys. I want you to compete and want to be doing better. Do better at school. Do your best. You don't have to get a mark that you cannot do, but do your best. That's what it is important. Keep competing. Do your best to get to your 12 and get a better, good A-class school, get to universities and so forth. And that's what I do. I compete for better duties and roles when I'm at work. But when it comes to this majlis, any duty that I get, I feel honored. And I feel absolutely honored to have given you beautiful children service, and hopefully we've learned something from it. Thank you all for attending all these sessions. Thank you all for participating in reading the books. And I, as promised, I brought some presents for all of you. And I hope those who's not here on the other side of the divider, that it hears me as well. But at the end of the majlis, I think after the Nawakhanim singers, and we will provide them to you and we will call them. I just wanted to thank you for that. Please recite Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala